every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 109th day of my challenge, where I actually have to start right away because I'm gonna cook all day. Wait, that even rhymed! Nice! I'm gonna try today eggplant parm, and for this dish you need meat sauce, which I'm actually gonna start with because I'm gonna cook it for like 4 hours. That's why I have to start ASAP. Before going into the ingredients, I want to mention 3 things. One is about Italian sausage, which is called in this recipe, well, the ground form of it anyways. So as always, because there's no such thing as Italian sausage here, in fact there's no such thing as meat sausage, I will use my own homemade Italian sausage meat mixture from Turkey, ground turkey. And if you're interested, I will leave all the measurements in the written recipe itself, but I won't show, well, there's not that much to show, of course, but I won't show how I made it because I did do that in one of my previous videos, so I will leave a link to that as well. But basically I did it yesterday. I put a bunch of spices into the meat, mixed it and left it in the fridge overnight because you need to, well, kind of leave it overnight to marinate it, I guess. Well, anyway, so I will use that one. The next thing is about the wine, which is called in this recipe. Again, as I am currently living in Iran, I don't want to break its dry law, which is alcohol is forbidden. So I won't use wine. I will substitute it with beef stock. And the last thing is about the fresh basil. Now I'm still on the no basil path right here because it's not the season and it's just impossible to find it right now. I will use, I'm pretty sure, the last of my frozen stack because I have like a couple of leaves left anyways, so I will use that. But other than that, let's go over the ingredients and let's get started. We're gonna need 700 grams of eggplant, 150 grams of mozzarella, 6 eggs beaten, some flour to dredge the eggplant in, some vegetable oil, some freshly grated Parmesan, salt and pepper, and some meat sauce, which needs 1 medium onion chopped, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 500 grams of ground beef sirloin, and 500 grams of ground Italian sausage, 240 milliliters of beef stock, and I'm using this 1 cube, 2.4 kilos of tomato puree, 400 milliliters of water, some basil leaves, and salt and pepper. Let's start with the meat sauce, and what I have here is my cast iron pot / pan, because when I was cooking Italian Sunday sauce in my big pot, it didn't really work out. I mean, okay, it worked out, it cooked fine, but it burned quite a lot on the bottom, so I kind of wanted to test out this one. So I have my extra virgin olive oil preheating over medium-high heat, and once it's there, I'm gonna add in the onion and cook for 4 minutes. And now I'll add in the meats and I'll cook them for about 10 minutes while breaking it apart all the way through. Okay, and now the beef stock for 1 minute. And now the moment of truth. Will it all fit in here or no? I'm gonna add in the tomato puree. Yay! It all fit! Okay, and at this point is where the water comes in handy, because this is what you're left with. There's some goodness as well as in that well, bowl. So what you want to do, just add in some water inside, swirl it around, and then put it, oh look, put it into the pot. And here I'm realizing I haven't seasoned anything with salt and pepper, and I wonder why, because usually Laura likes to season every layer of her dish, but I will follow the instructions anyways. So now I will just give it a really nice stir, partially cover it, turn the heat down to low, and let it cook for 4 hours. And I'll be coming in like every half an hour or so to give it a stir so nothing burns. Four hours have passed, and this is how the sauce looks afterwards. So now I'm gonna add in my oh, it's so little. I'm gonna add in my basil. I'm gonna season very well with salt and pepper. Remember, I didn't season it at all. Give it a nice stir, and that's it. I have my meat sauce done. Okay, so meat sauce is done, and I didn't mention before, but we won't need the whole thing. We will need only a little bit less than half, which is 4 cups or around 1 kilo of the sauce, and the rest is for freezing. I am planning to use it for lasagna later, but it's just a tiny bit too little, so I will have to make another batch. But oh well, it's really good for freezing, so whenever you want something with meat sauce, you have it on hand. By the way, when you make it for so long, you might as well make the whole batch, right? Okay, so meat sauce done. Now let's move on to the eggplant. Now it's not the greatest, so I will have to trim it quite a bit, but once I do that, I will cut it lengthwise thinly into about, well, 0.3 centimeters thickness. So I will pull my signature move, take out the ruler, and just make one of them with the ruler, well, not the whole thing, one slice with the ruler, so I would know what I'm dealing with, and then I will just slice them thinly. How to measure out 0.3 centimeters? Okay, and by the way, if you want your eggplant not to move, you just slice a thin layer at the bottom or any side, and then just put, and voila, it has feet. So basically, just try to slice it as thin as possible, because these, I'm trying to work on the thinner side because this is half the centimeter, so just as thin as possible. Now take flour and the egg, season with salt and pepper, and mix it in. Great, and now you want to dredge each piece of the eggplant in the flour from both sides. So apparently I do have an eye for some things. Was this like a perfect measurement or what? By the way, look at this pile. This is a lot of eggplant. And now you want to take your biggest pan, which for me it's the same one I cooked my meat sauce in, so I just washed it, and I will fill it with vegetable oil so that there would be a little bit more than half a centimeter oil in the pan. Well, okay, 0.6 centimeter to be precise. I love this roller. It's so great. Okay, so now I will preheat the oil over medium heat until it's really nice and hot. No, no, no. This is the saddest day of my life. My roller broke. What will I do now? I'm pretty sure I will make a total mess right here, but here's how it's gonna go. I will take an eggplant, dip it from both sides in egg, shake off the excess and put it into the oil. I will cook in batches, obviously, but I will try not to overcrowd the pan so that it, well, wouldn't drop the temperature too much. And I will cook it for 1 minute on each side. Once I remove it to a paper towel lined plate, I will season it with salt immediately, with a little bit of salt, and put another layer of paper towel on top of it so that the next batch would go again on paper towel and it would soak up all of the excess oil. And I will be repeating this over and over again until I finish this huge batch. Before starting to assemble, I will turn on my oven to preheat to 180 degrees and I will cut the mozzarella into small, well, cubes. Laura actually kind of tears it apart with her fingers, but I don't really want to do that. That's why I will cut it up into small cubes. Okay, let's start assembling. I have my casserole dish here and the meat sauce. You want to take a ladle full of sauce, put it on the bottom of the casserole dish and just smear it all around. Then take some eggplant, however it will fit, and put it onto the sauce in one layer. Okay, now you want to take a tablespoon and just smear a little bit of the meat sauce on each of the eggplant. Okay, now you want to drop some mozzarella all over the top and sprinkle Parmesan. And I will be repeating this step again and again until it finishes. And you do want to kind of look how many layers you will have so that you would have the most amount of mozzarella and Parmesan on the very, very top. And now into the oven for 20 minutes. Oh my goodness! I have a total mess in my kitchen and I feel like I spend here all day, but let's try and see if it was all worth it, shall we? Because smells, I have to admit, they are pretty good. I'm so tired. Wow. You know what? It was worth it. I can barely stand on my feet because I feel like I stood all day, seriously. But this is really good. Yum, yum, yum. My mom will love this because she loves eggplant. I love eggplant, but she's like crazy about it. It is pretty spicy. I'm now trying to understand where the spice comes from. Oh, maybe from the Italian sausage meat mix. Where does the spice come from? It is kind of spicy. I was cooking so long that I don't even remember when I put the spices. I did put pepper sometime, didn't I? Anyways, but this is really, really nice. And the eggplant is still kind of like crunchy. Okay, that might be understood wrongly. Might be understood wrongly because my mom actually doesn't like crunchy eggplant. She likes it really like softly made, but okay, it's crunchy in a good way. Like you can still feel it's an eggplant. It's not like all mushy. And there are so many flavors. It's a good one. I would suggest though making it in stages. First, just make the meat sauce for whenever you feel like eggplant parm, so that you would have the meat sauce. Because if you do it at this like all in the same day, man, you get tired. Anyways, I really hope that this was fun and helpful. If you want the original recipe by Laura, is there, and the written one together with the meat sauce ingredients and whatnot will be in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go rest and enjoy this meal. Bye, see you tomorrow. I totally realized it's not tomorrow. See you in a day. Bye.